Please be seated. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Mark van der Brand. I'm chairing this graduation ceremony. I'm the scientific director of the PDang program, Software Technology. And welcome to all of you, graduates of the Professional Doctorate in Software Technology. I also would like to welcome family, friends, colleagues and supervisors to this PDang Diploma Award ceremony of the Eindhoven University of Technology, or TUE. Today, we are proud to award 14 trainees from this Technological Designers Program, the PDang Diploma, a professional doctorate in engineering. Currently, there are 12 technological designers or PDang programs at the TUE, 3 at Delft University of Technology and 5 at Twente University. The PDang programs have been around for more than 30 years, and today TU Delft, University Twente and the TUE have already trained more than 3,900 technological designers. The PDang programs have been created in close collaboration with industry. They respond to the current needs of the high-tech sector. We train the best young engineers. The selection of the trainees is tough. An important task for these engineers is innovation or knowledge valorization. How to best transfer knowledge into value. While pure researchers are driven by curiosity and want to understand or predict phenomena, the real engineers want to create value by means of creation of new and innovative artifacts. This is exactly what the Technological Designers Program are about and what our today's new PDang graduates have accomplished during their 2-year program in industry. As of today, they may use the degree Professional Doctorate in Engineering or PDang. The PDang degree gives these designers an important advantage in industry. The extra knowledge and experience of these PDang candidates have acquired usually can only be gained after a number of years working in a company. We wish our new graduates a lot of success in their future career. I also want to provide a special thank you to our partners in the high-tech industry. The second-year design projects conducted by our PDang trainees are proposed by the high-tech industry and its industry urgent need for innovation and design engineers who are not afraid to go beyond boundaries of disciplines that provide our PDang trainees the opportunities to learn and earn during challenging second-year design projects. Before the ceremony begins, first a brief explanation on the protocol. First, the supervisors from university or industry will provide a short introduction on the graduate, an abstract of their thesis, and then will hand over the diploma. Additionally, the graduate receives an alumni gift offered by the TUE. Because of today, these graduates are officially alumni of Eindhoven University of Technology. The TUE wants to give her graduates an alumni gift that says, "Proud to be from the TUE." This gift, a clean-cut design tube from our PDang diploma, for your PDang diploma, is inspired by the eye-catching red slash in the TUE logo. Once all of our graduates have received their diploma, the speakers and graduates will have a picture taken. Afterwards, we will join you in the Voorhof, where we conclude the ceremony with a reception where drinks will be served and there will be opportunity to solicite. I will give the word to the committee members from my place over there, and I wish you all a very pleasant afternoon. I will come back after the talks of the supervisors with a few words, serious words that I have to address to the graduates, and then we will close this session. I would like to ask Ingenieur Bouwmeester to address Igor Anastasov.
Welcome everybody. My name is Leon Bouwmeester. I work at Philips Lighting, and during the period I was the supervisor of Igor. A few words of gratitude towards Igor. But first a question. Is there anybody who's got a fish tank at home? Silly question perhaps. Come on. No fish tanks? Okay, good. You don't have to be worried, but recently a casino was hacked by means of hacking a fish tank and then addressing the rest of the computer systems and thereby collecting a lot of money from that casino. So that really states that security is becoming more and more an important issue. And like security and quality, that's not really a department, it's an attitude that has to be in your genes. And within Philips Lighting, Igor has been working on a project to make the IT solutions that also Philips is working on even more secure by addressing the release process in a much more secure way by providing a link between the developing tools on one hand and the deployment in towards the field on the other hand. And that tool has really demonstrated its value so far, because what took ages to get something out in the field is now literally a question of minutes. And that's really a good accomplishment of Igor. He played a pivoting role in the whole project. He identified all the key stakeholders by himself, what the requirements were, the non-functional requirements, and so on. And he also set up the initial architecture. That's determined the overall foundation of the overall results. And needless to say, of course, the security aspects of that solution was quite important. The work has not stopped. In fact, it goes on with Igor. Igor has been offered a job as of 2nd of October onwards within Philips Lighting, where he'll be continuing the rest of his work. Igor, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I would like to call forward Mrs. Ling Kwok and Mr. Van der Werf van ProRail.
Dear Lynn, ladies and gentlemen, when you started at ProRail in the Dutch Rail Infrastructure Manager, you knew about railways mainly as a passenger, I think, not as a designer. You were not even aware that there was a department signaling within ProRail, I think. And when you started working on our department signaling, for you the confrontation came with the way we were using specifications and requirements as a contribution to safety and reliability of the railways. So, and to work on strategies rather than to work only on requirements and specifications. And we didn't work too much with models. From the very beginning, I remember we had a meeting in Frankfurt of our standardization project where you contributed to, ULinks. And we had discussions with many colleagues in Frankfurt with foreign countries. And you already participated in discussions, and you really knew where you were talking about in a very early moment. Sometimes there was a language barrier. At ProRail, we are not used to speak English that much in our work every day. And while working with you, we became aware more than before that we had to speak English in European standardization projects, which was new for our experts too. But everything is very relative. After 9 months, your Dutch has much more improved than my Vietnamese. And bringing those worlds together, signaling and modeling was not easy. It was even worse with me as a client, raising questions to you about advising us concerning an evolving European standard. After a while, you were able to tell me what my questions should have been to lead to the advice I needed and could be given by you. You had to dig deep in our archives and work intensively with our experts in the field of signaling and to find requirements and to make them compare with the European standard, which was not easy. So technically spoken, you helped us to become familiar with model-based system engineering as a modern way of working in the field of command, control, and signaling technology at railways. So you made us aware of a needed change of a practical organization using methods which were mainly known from the academic world. And you have done this with admirable effort, with great commitment and very much enthusiasm. And it was a pleasure to work with you, to have you in our team, in our department in office in Utrecht. So I'm convinced that the result in the form of a professional report and very useful presentations will help us to make progress in our future work. So thank you very much, also in the name of the colleagues of our organization.
Yeah, thanks.
I would like to ask Vera Chembai and the heer Ruiter to come forward. So, prepare the speech. I'm honored to provide Vera her professional degree in engineering diploma. At Network, Vera delivered an excellent job by designing and implementing an important part of our anonymization infrastructure for medical population data research environment. Being responsible for the IT and development within Network, I was responsible as a supervisor. I'm did it on a very glad way. Network develops and facilitates healthcare programs which aim for improving patient care, better care for patients, better health for populations, and reducing healthcare costs. And you delivered a very nice part of it. Vera's project analytics infrastructure for aggregated data has delivered a big data solution for collecting and aggregating medical data. The most important challenge here, of course, is privacy. And you did it in an excellent way. You challenged all those privacy issues head on. It was a very pleasant way to work with Vera on the professional side, but also on the personal side. And on the professional side, you delivered excellent quality, good quality of work. You delivered a stable architecture of the whole system. It lasts from the beginning and remains unchanged from the beginning. So we were very happy with the stable architecture. And you gathered a lot of knowledge about anonymization techniques, and also was you able to share that with the whole company. So we are now aware of how to get the data, but also to anonymize it and prepare it for research. Very, very valuable. Her project management skills were excellent, certainly from your point in your career. You took the lead, took initiative, clear communication. All was very well done. Thanks for that. For a personal side, it was also very pleasant to discover cultural changes with Russia and the Netherlands. It was a lot of things happened, and one of the things I remember at lunchtime, you found it very strange eating this soft bread with peanut butter and typical Dutch thing. At the other side, we were surprised by a typical Russian candy, which were served by Vera. And said, okay, is this candy? Can you eat it? So that was very nice to experience those cultural changes. Next to your challenging assignment, you also managed to play and practice playing the violin, and you prepared
for a concert named the Unfinished Concert. Is it?
Yeah.
True?
Yeah.
Vera, you are starting in Amsterdam next month. I wish you every success in your continuation of your career. Thanks for your contribution to Network. You worked on an unfinished concert, but you managed to finish this program very successfully. So,
Thank you very
congratulations.
much. Thank you so much.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Over here.
Okay, next I would like to ask Mr. Sodku Dailaku and Mr. De Groot from ASML, from Thermo Fisher Scientific to come forward. It's close to each other.
Actually, I did work more at ASML than Thermo Fisher. I'll put this here. Okay, so first a little background on where Thermo Fisher was at before Sodku came. We had several projects and investigations on how to do code generation. Several departments within the company were convinced that this was a big step that we had to take because we're wasting a lot of resources on things that are very redundant and could easily be done with a code generation. So we knew that it had to be done, but nobody wanted to do it because that takes a lot of time and focus, and nobody was willing to spend that time. And then we had Sodku to the rescue. So you came to Thermo Fisher to help us for 9 months. And 9 months, that's it's barely enough time for me to be able to spell your name. But you made the best of the 9 months, and then as you saw in the presentation, the results were great. We actually got one file in our whole code base to be generated in the end. So I'm very happy with that. And from there we can extend that, of course. And now I want to say a few things about you personally. So I was thinking, okay, I'll take a sheet of paper and I'll write down all the wild stories that you have been telling me over the time. And actually in 10 minutes that paper was full. Actually, Sodku is a very calm and quiet guy. So in the beginning I was also a little bit worried because we had our meetings and I was telling you have to dig in all these new technologies, and then well, off you went. And then a week later, I didn't hear anything from you. I would sit next to you and say, Sodku, how are those technologies coming along? And I didn't get any questions. We say, no, I got a prototype working already, and this is working, I get everything. So, yeah, you picked up everything incredibly fast. So, Sodku, you're a sponge. And that really helped. So I needed to, well, once in a while, focus you on our end goal. But we made lots and lots of progress. And I'm very thankful for that. There's one thing that bugs me still, though. So now, after your project, you applied at Thermo Fisher for a job, huh? And of course, Thermo Fisher said, yes, please come. And then you had all these vacancies to choose from. And actually, there's 10 vacancies in my department. But I still have 10 vacancies. Now, instead, you chose to take the adventurous route. So you took a job where you have to travel between Eindhoven and I believe it's Göttingen in Germany.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're going to spend half your time there, half your time in Eindhoven. No doubt that you'll be very valuable there, and I wish you all the best in that position. And if you ever get tired of traveling, you come to me, huh? Yeah. Okay. Sotku, congratulations. Thank you. Let's go up here for a picture.
I would like to call forward Mr. Jonke Dimov and Mr. Klabbers from the Technical University Eindhoven.
Hi. I'm Martijn Klabbers, and I'm responsible for EIT Digital's online education. We have masses of data, about 100,000 students actually working in our programs, and Jonsje was one of those persons that worked with the data and was responsible for that. But since we're dealing with a lot of web lectures and these kind of things, I was not supposed to be here, and I had actually a virtual representation of myself. So that's why I would like to say, start the movie, and just let's enjoy.
Hey, Martijn. It's Jonsje's diploma ceremony.
Yeah.
We need to say something to him and to the audience. What shall we talk about?
Yeah.
About the process?
Yeah.
Went very well, I think.
Yeah.
What else? About the product he delivered? Is it useful for EIT?
Yeah.
EIT Digital will be happy.
Yeah.
What else? The learning process?
Yeah.
Did he learn a lot?
Yeah.
Made good progress.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Jonsje, congratulations.
Thank you. As you could have seen, I'm a man with few words. It was fun creating this, but it's actually was more fun to work together with Jonsje on this project. He's a real reliable guy, despite the name that Macedonia, for example, has in the world, with alternative truths, and these, we could really rely on Jonsje's work actually, and we're very proud to see that the product that he created, we can continue to work with that and to improve education at the Eindhoven University, but also at universities involved in this European adventure. The things that were already clear, it was a very nice process, and it's a very nice product, so I would be very short actually on this and say congratulations. Thanks.
The next trainee I would like to call forward is Chris Hoedemakers, and please take your time. And I'm not going to make a mistake, Mr. Albert from ASML.
Welcome, dear Chris. I'm sure that you are pretty glad that the desk is on your side. I had prepared a speech of 37 minutes, but after I heard that Chris was badly injured, he will not be standing for 37 minutes. And by the way, I'm not allowed to speak that long anyway. So Chris worked at ASML, and to give you an indication on how that started, well, there were lots of And then we did a lot of, and I think, well, the thing with Chris was that he didn't finish his sentences. In the beginning, I must admit that improved remarkably once we told him so. And working with Chris from that time on, and even before that, really became a pleasure. Besides, in the beginning, not finishing his sentences, he finished one thing for sure, and it was a beautiful drawing on the whiteboard. He filled it completely, and yeah, I could see it, and I was glad with it. And when I came back on Monday, it was still on the whiteboard, and it stayed on that for a week. It stayed on that for 2 weeks. I went on holidays, 3 weeks away, and then yeah, you know, you forget your password, but when I entered the room, immediately the whiteboard was there, and the diagram with the design of Chris's work was still present. And that is also what characterized Chris in the end, in the project. His design is as stable and as good of quality as Chris is, I am sure. So I'm very glad that we had Chris at ASML to work on his assignment. He did a very good job. The product that he created ended up in our prototype. And well, it ended up so well that we did not have to add or change anything on it. Actually, it made me practically forget that Chris was an OT. I considered Chris to be an ASML employee in the end. And I'm also very glad that that has become true. Chris has become an ASML employee, on which I'm very glad of. And well, he has to start within a couple of weeks. Yeah. And I already know his first assignment. He has to wipe out the whiteboard. With that, I would like to conclude by congratulating Chris and also being glad for ASML that we have a fine, new, young colleague in our midst. Chris, congratulations. Sure.
Okay, if Chris is seated again without breaking a leg, then I would like to call forward Mr. Panagiotis Kotsis and Mr. Alonso from ASML.
Heavy. Okay. First, I would like to congratulate you, candidates, for finishing this very important milestone in your life. I'm sure that it was not easy, but I'm also sure that it is going to be worth it. Now, Panos. It was almost 1 year ago when we met, and at that time, I thought that you were the right candidate for this project. And you thought that this was the right project for you. Standing here today, we can easily say that we were right. But the task was difficult, and the time was limited. Your assignment, generating Armor's legacy and data adapters, which for practicalities you later called them ALDA components, was a test to many of your characteristics. Your communication skills allow you to gather the requirements that you needed. Your motivation drove you to build, quite fast actually, a prototype of your tool. Your strong commitment gave you your prototype many beta and even alpha users. And your strong determination sponsored you, and also me, a fair amount of after-hours work and meetings. As you know, your findings will be used to teach our engineers the existence and importance of the ALDA components. Your report will be used as a reference to manually model them, but only for a short period of time, because we will focus on industrializing the prototype that you have created so that ASML designers can automatically generate all these ALDA components. Thank you very much for your work and dedication. Congratulations to your family, to your dad. Sir, you have all the right reasons to be proud of your son. And finally, congratulations to you. Enjoy and celebrate this achievement. You deserve it. A piece of advice: don't ever give up trying to do what you really want to do. And we will see each other very soon, but now as colleagues at ISML. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I would like to call forward Mr. Colin Lambrechts and Mr. Oswai Veran from ASML.
Let me begin by expressing my appreciation to the Technical University of Eindhoven and to the OT program for giving me the chance of handing in the graduation diploma to Colin. Dear Colin, first of all, congratulations to you and your family and friends with your graduation. Your 2 years of hard work are now successfully ended with the PD Ing diploma from this great university. During the 9 months of your assignment period, you joined our company and successfully built for us a tool that measures the quality of control models using metrics, and we are happy with it. Let me share with you some thoughts and memories we had during the course of your assignment. I was your supervisor after a few months of the start of your assignment. I realized it was a bit different than the other OT assignments I got to know before, because it combined practical design work with establishing a research trajectory as a potential PhD student, and that was really challenging. Since the beginning, we noticed that you are a fast learner, a good communicator, good listener, and a good technical engineer. I remember how you effectively involved your project stakeholders and professionally address their variable demands and concerns. During the assignment period, you were always hardworking, trying to fill the gap of your knowledge and research and related technologies of your design, and you made a good progress in this respect. A few months before the end of your assignment, you realized that you prefer work within the context of practical design and engineering in industry over working on research challenges in academia. Somehow with some colleagues of you, you noticed that the context of your PhD research is slightly not exciting that much because usually doing research work alone compared to a collaborative atmosphere of working in industrial projects within a team. And there where you find yourself, and you decided actually to continue in industry. I and my team from the Wafer Alignment Group enjoyed working with you, and we wish that you enjoyed also working with us, and we wish you all success in your future industrial career. Thank you.
I would like to call forward Mrs. Mia Petkovic and Mr. Brunner from OC.
Okay. Dear Mia, first of all, I would like to congratulate you with your diploma. And Mia, you have been working on a special project within OC. Unlike the many software engineering projects, you worked on technology development to create new value propositions and to establish the feasibility of that. This project actually gave you a lot of unknowns, like undiscovered and new land. Well, in that context, I learned to know you, and mainly what I found is that you are a very hard worker. You never give up. So that hard work has also resulted in a whole new group of printed products that we are able to model and actually to produce. Briefly, to explain to the audience, without you, we still would have only rectangular documents and products being produced. And now we are free to model all kinds of shapes. And to show that to you, I give you a little example. It's like this. You all know this. It's a rectangular document. But the thesis of Mia looks like this. So you understand, this is really something that attracts attention. Now, this was of course done especially to show a case, but you can also buy them. And they're very nice, they show and the value of that. So we're very grateful to have that. And there are two additional characteristics of you that I would like to highlight, because they will be of great use beside your hard work. One is that you're very open to step towards people that you don't know, and to question them, to learn from them. And one of the examples is we went to a trade fair, and where there's lots of business people who are in this field for many, many years. And you just set your goals to learn and to understand what they know, and to investigate what really was triggering your questions. And the second thing that I would like to mention is that you are able to promote the various interests of different stakeholders, and you will not let go of any of them. So that's of great use, I think, in the future you'll have in your career. So Mia, you're ready for an interesting career in the software industry, and I wish you all the best at Enter and at Philips.
Thank you.
So.
Next, I would like to call forward Kostas Ermak and Mr. Rob Vase from Stami Carbon.
Hi, Kostas. I need my notes. Okay, dear Kostas, ladies and gentlemen, I remember interviewing Kostas on the 9th of December in 2016, and he already said, don't call me Konstantinos, but call me Kostas, that's easier, on Skype. He was one of two candidates that were still looking for a PhD PDN assignment. At that time, we, Stami Carbon, we were looking for somebody to help us in a project to change in-house developed tools we use to design our urea plants from a textual input to a graphical one, which would increase our productivities of our engineers. And that was the assignment that we were thinking of. And what struck me most in the interview, Kostas, was that you said you were driven by curiosity and by getting results. I quote, "I'm more a developer than a manager." He also has a degree in electrical and computer science, engineering, And that was a big plus because he was about to spend 9 months among a bunch of people that are engineers. So these qualifications got him his assignment. He faced 2 big challenges by accepting this assignment, and one, that he has to go very deep into the subject matter of chemical engineering in order to be able to accomplish this. And the second one is that he got as a prerequisite or a prescripted set of tools to be used to actually execute the assignment. And he did that in a very both these challenges he did very well, and eventually we got a product that is usable, extendable, and maintainable. And for that I would like to express my gratitude and my professional respect. Kostas is very smart, he's focused, and he's always asking for feedback, which is, I think, a very good characteristics. He also has other characteristics, not on a professional side, but more or less as a person. And as I have seen, he's a very laid-back person, and that is literally. He knows how to use a chair with only the back of the lower back, and the shoulders. And that's the way he's behind his desk. And there's also another one. And whenever we had sprint meetings every 2 weeks, and we came up with changed requirements or other requirements popped up, his first reaction would be, "Oh no, Rob, that's impossible." However, after having discussions and giving the issues some deeper thought, he came up with solutions, and that's fine. So, Kostas, once again, thank you very much for what you did for Stami Carbon in the last 9 months. And I would like to give you, once again, the same advice I gave you the last month. Don't worry, and you will achieve whatever you will want to achieve. Congratulations, and good afternoon.
I would like to ask Mr. Nontas Rontianis and Mr. Ernst Lobe from ISML to come forward.
Just a little speech. Dear Nontas. Yes. First of all, it's an honor for me to be handing over this graduation degree to you, a fellow OT. Always a proud moment for me. But today is your day. Over the past 9 months, you have been working on a generation of protocol compliant simulators in ASML. Your assignment was to investigate the possibility of generating interface stimuli and responses in a protocol compliant way. This would help designers to validate their formal models against the specified requirements, thereby improving the efficiency of our testing efforts significantly. All about building the right product correctly and efficiently, of course. From day 1 of your assignment, actually, I don't know what happened on day 1 until about day 15, because I was on vacation in a faraway island, and so were your other supervisors. Not on the same island, of course. But when we returned on day 16, we got to see Nontas. And you were fully equipped with the technology know-how. You had found your experts, you knew the process. You're basically an employee at ASML, and you were ready to fire. We expected that, of course, but it's not always that you get to see someone taking charge from the get-go. So kudos to your initiative and your independence. It's also important to note, and you forgot to say that in your presentation, that this is a difficult problem, and this is not the first time that we are experimenting with model-based testing. Your scope was massive, but you were on top of it. You demonstrated critical thinking,
on your own solution directions and scope, and you came with rather brilliant alternatives, as Ivo sitting in the crowd would probably agree. I was just a sounding board for your ideas. You brought them, you challenged them, and you executed them. That's commendable. So Nontas is smart and capable and all that jazz, but Nontas does have some very interesting characteristics, as you might, some of you might know. For instance, his dry and sometimes awkwardly timed sense of humor. Like the time during his defense, which is actually supposed to be a serious affair, he joked with the committee, "Does anybody want a power nap?" Harold was not impressed. But we took it as a joke. Or the other characteristic is Nontas's amazing yet somehow discomforting knowledge of knowing whatever I did every weekend. "How was your weekend, Nontas?" "Ah, it was fine." "How were the mountains in Austria, Ernest?" I'm like, "Huh? How did you know?" "Instagram." And that's the first time I used the block feature of Instagram. No, I'm just kidding. I know. Funny guy, you know. Now, in all seriousness, I believe that the goal of an OT assignment goes beyond a thesis report and a prototype. It has to land in the process. And I'm really happy that you're going to be continuing in the same department, further polishing your efforts so that it's rolled out to the community as a full-fledged product. Of course, the learning doesn't stop with this degree. There's always plenty of room to improve further, like sometimes accepting a suboptimal design for the sake of deployability. Or how you put it, sometimes it is what it is. It's been a pleasure working with you, Nontas, on this project. You're a friendly colleague, and I have enjoyed the many discussions we've had, as I'm sure your other stakeholders did. And to be honest, for us, you set a new bar. So I'm going to end this speech with something that Nontas and I used to always talk on Link in Game of Thrones lingo. "Lo and behold, I now proclaim thee as Nontas, first of your name, Lord Commander of the simulators, protector of the protocols, guardian of the generators, cracker of the awkward chuckles, and most importantly, a proud OT alumnus. Never bend the knee to the status quo, and always hold the door open to new innovation." Congratulations, Ben. Thank you.
Next, I would like to call forward Mrs. Fariba Safari and Mr. Paffer from OC.
Making sounds already. I have to stand here probably for people to understand me. Congrats.
Thank you.
To start with. Fariba, it was a great 9 months, as far as I'm concerned at least. When you started at UC, the project consisted of exactly one line on paper with a name above it. We have to have something here. Now it's actually something that works, and that's because of you. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the major thing that you did. You actually took stuff that was in my head, in Jeroen's head, and in other people's heads, and actually made something of it, made it concrete. And the way you did that actually also confronted me a bit with people always say to me, hey, you're an OT. They're always stubborn. They never take something for granted. Yeah, now I have a mirror, which is indeed sometimes annoying. And that helped. So it was really a pleasure to work with you. And what surprised me more, not related to the project, is that even from the start, you actually blend into the team. You went walking with us, together with Mia as well, during lunch. You actually came to the movies with us. where you scared the beep out of me by making noises when something scary happened on screen. So even these social events, you really became part of the team. Unfortunately, now you're going to the other team, which, damn, apparently Jeroen won. But I'm really happy that you're actually staying at OSE, and we're still in the same room, so I'm going to see you more and more. And I think you're a valuable addition and a great colleague.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much. Thank
And we have to make a picture.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Next, I would like to call forward Mrs. Ji Wang and Mr. Schumacher from ASML.
Hello, everybody. I'm also very nervous. It's a great honor for me to be here at the Technical University of Eindhoven, the provider of the best talents for our Brainport region. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the graduates, the teachers, and their families on successful completion of your study program. But I'm here to hand over the diploma to one of you, G1. G, for 9 months, I had the pleasure to help you during your final project at ASML Metrology. You joined our team in January, our team of 7 software engineers from 7 different countries. You didn't increase our diversity even further, so you can guess which country had had the most people. But thanks to you, we now know that despite all our differences, we can do extraordinary things together. For example, eat Chinese mooncakes. But all in all, I congratulate you on earning this diploma. I think you have a good profession, which is international, which is portable, and you have the skills you can apply at different places, different domains, whether it is industry, commerce, or science. And also you know how to deal with all this legacy code made by my generation of software designers. Another invaluable result of your project is that now you actually have some more good colleagues and friends to whom you can always come with any questions. You know that you start working at ASML next month and you know how to find us. And we're always happy to help you. And if we can't, we just will be happy to see you. All the best in your future career, and here's your diploma.
And finally, I would like to call forward Mrs. Ji Wu and Mrs. Monova from OSE.
I didn't want to improvise it. I decided to come prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to, in less than 4 minutes, to give you an impression of what was the work of Hui. And in fact, her results really contributed to organizational change, which we are carrying forward. So I want to tell you what she did and what was her project about. Print systems and their controllers are complex systems that pose challenges in managing their growing complexity while ensuring high quality and delivering on time, as it is with all high-tech embedded systems. Considering that the OSE controller's platform has been developed in the course of more than a decade by hundreds of developers and in different locations of Europe in various technologies, it can be expected that maintaining the overview is a challenge. Moreover, an impact analysis for each new feature proves to be an expert's task. Now, in order to provide support to all parties involved in the development process, one can envision that the controller can be ultimately fully modeled. Modeling, no surprise. Data, behavior, interfaces, but also the controller architecture itself, and that these models should be the basis of further specification, analysis, and simulation. This vision includes that there will be a bridge not only towards the realization, but also to the high-level system behavior in context for specification and validation purposes. Luckily, a lot of these models already exist and can be used as stepping stones towards this vision. Inhui, your project, a model-based framework to bridge architecting, engineering, and testing, delivers the first step in our roadmap. It will serve as a base for integrating existing and new models. We believe that connecting models, not just developing them in isolation, delivers exponential added value to the organization. In order to show the feasibility of the approach, we selected our interface definition modeling as one of the most oldest and most established model-driven practices in the controller development. We further extended it with requirements on interface level or data constraints and usage scenarios specifying the expected behavior in different situations. Combining these models and putting them in their design context in the controller architecture model demonstrates the initial added value and sketches the potential of further extensions. But more importantly, it opens discussion on how far and and can we go at all in order, how far and can we go in order to, oh, I'm sorry. You see, sometimes focusing on reading your story is not working so well. So it opens the discussion on how far we can go with model-driven in our vision. So in Hui, you successfully achieved the goal to provide the proof of concept. And based on that, we already know that it was the valuable step in the right direction. Your hard work in learning new domains and technologies, as well as in balancing your own work, as well as supervising students, has concluded a convincing and complete result. We are happy to adopt these results and continue maturing them and developing them further. And I'm really happy to tell you and everyone that, in fact, your results will be, in a few months, deployed to almost every controller developer. So your results were proved to be very valuable. Congratulations one more, and thank you very much for your...
Dear graduates of the Technological Designers Program, first of all, congratulations with your graduation, also on behalf of the board of the department and of the university. From now onwards, you may use the degree of Professional Doctorate in Engineering, or PDN as a shorthand. I have to also address you with a number of serious words, so let me do that. The scientific degree of the PDN involves duties as well as rights. As a holder of this degree, you are committed to standards of scientific integrity, trustworthiness, intellectual honesty, openness, and independence. These standards are described in more detail in the Netherlands Code of Conduct from the academic practice and in the Eindhoven Conduct derived from it. You also have duties towards society. You must be clear about the boundaries of your own expertise, and you must communicate honestly and independently about the results of your work, including potential risks associated with it. You are committed to the ethical codes of research and design involving human subjects or animals. We wish you all the best and a promising career in industry. High-tech companies are in great need of technological designers with the skills you have acquired over the last 2 years. Hence, the opportunities that lay ahead will be endless. Now you are alumni of the Eindhoven University of Technology, and in particular, the PDN program Software Technology. We recommend you to stay in touch with XOTIC and your peers. We hope that you will continue your membership of the XOTIC community as an active member by participating and perhaps even initiating XOTIC events. I would finally like to thank all supervisors from the companies for providing the supervision and also for providing, in many cases, the assignments. And I also would like to thank the supervisors from the university for the involvement in the supervision of the students from the university side. To conclude this ceremony, there are a few directions for the closure of this ceremony. First of all, the program directors and the speakers have the opportunity to congratulate the graduates. Subsequently, the graduates and the program directors will have their pictures taken at the entrance of the Blauwe Zaal on that side. Once the graduates and the program directors have left the Blauwe Zaal, you may exit the Blauwe Zaal on that side as the audience. In the Voorhof, drinks will be served, and you will have, and once we have taken our picture, we will join you in the festivities. Thank you for participating in this graduation event.